I'd grown up in church. My family would go to church every Sunday. I was at the church all through uni. I guess I felt like there was always going to be a set pattern in my life. You know, go to high school, go to uni, get a great career as an accountant, be married, have babies by 25. Everything just, I didn't understand that things could go skew if. Even though I was raised in church, I never actually, despite whether I probably said the prayers along with everyone, but I never had the connection. I would sing the songs and it would be lovely, but I was really concentrating on which boys were there. So for me, it was all about getting their attention and seeking validation through them, as opposed to running hard for Jesus and getting validation through the only one that can give me validation. I got married the first time at 22. I'd only been dating this person for 6 months. So I had a crush on this particular fellow all through high school, went through to uni, and our group caught up again, and he decided he was interested in me. So in my mind, I thought, oh my gosh, all my dreams have come true, wow, you know. I've had a crush on this person all through my life. I mean, I've never spoken to him, didn't know him from a bar of soap, basically, and then at the same time my career's not working out, so my direction then shifted from, okay, this isn't working out. It gave me something to focus on, and my focus was then, how can I make this relationship into what it is, the answer, the thing that will fix me. So we were married for about 5 years, and pretty much there weren't really many good days, and that was basically because of me. That's when this, I guess it was situational depression, really started, and I would act out violently. My anger was an issue. After about 5 years in the first marriage, for me, the logical answer was to get out of the marriage, which is what I did, and yes. Within a couple of days, really, of my first husband moving out of the house, I was on a dating website. So I was like, okay, how am I going to meet someone and, you know, fulfill this need within me? And that was the quickest way to get on there, and pretty much that's how I met my next husband, virtually straight away. So we ended up getting married, and we had Ivy in 2010 in February. And through this whole stage, I can look back, and the marriage wasn't based on anything that could hold us together. When I had Ivy, I think that's when things really changed, because, and a lot of parents will understand this, it actually made me take stock. Because all of a sudden I've got this beautiful little girl and she's like divine. I just started thinking, what are my values? You know, what do I believe in? I grew up in church. I want Ivy to have something more than just relying on herself. So basically there was then just increased anxiety about the relationship not working, identifying the differences in our values between myself and Ivy's dad, who is an amazing dad and doing a fantastic job. But yeah, just seeing the gap in our values and how we were brought up, and I just think we didn't have the foundation to make it work. So I just started suffering severe anxiety now and ended up in Belmont Private Hospital for about 3 weeks. And then January 2011, the floods happened, and my husband and I owned 2 houses, one in Gingerlee and one in Oxley, both of which were inundated. The best thing that came out of that was the fact that it was like the last straw, where I just went, all right, you know, I cannot do this myself anymore. I'm obviously pretty stubborn. So I put my hands up in the air, and literally that's when I started crying out to God. And it was basically just, you know, cry of the heart prayer, where it's like, I wasn't in church, I wasn't doing anything. It was like, there's got to be something. The best thing my parents did, bless them, was to raise me in church, because I might have walked away, but to try and do things myself, but I knew where to come back to. I guess the last straw was me just trying to encourage my husband to come along to our church with me, and I thought, okay, well, let's try a church together. And so I just heard on 96.5 mentioned Life Church. We came along together, and our marriage then did break up, the marriage was actually detrimental to myself, to my husband, to my daughter. It was really unhealthy. When the marriage was starting to break down, I rang up to speak to a pastor. I remember the day, I remember the day when Sasha came through my door, and just to have someone that I could relate to. Having Jesus in my life basically means I just don't have to do it anymore. You know, I don't have to make all the decisions. I don't have to drive it forward. It's about recapturing all the dreams of my youth.